are you? How's it going? How's everybody doing out there? What is the latest and greatest? It is a Monday, a beautiful Monday, maybe for some, not for all, especially if you are a diehard Mets fan like yours truly. But nevertheless, the show must go on, and there's a lot to get into here over the course of this podcast pregame, which I hope people start joining shortly. But if they don't, that's fine, because I'm going to spew what I'm going to spew and talk about what I'm going to talk about. And I know I'm about a minute or so late than normal as I get myself ready for a podcast. Okay, it's over there. As I get ready for a podcast pregame. Miles Bio. The morning after. Miles, listen, all in all, I am fine. As far as my sports life is concerned, it is a disaster in more ways than one. And that's what we're going to get into and unpack in this podcast pregame. Bio, my man, I appreciate you. Sorry that we're not going to go at it here over the course of the next 3 days starting tomorrow. The Cincinnati Reds, jeez. Again, Rob Manfred and company. I'm sure as he's opening his morning paper while he has his croissant and his coffee, and he looks at the headlines there about the Mets gagging, knowing that Mets-Dodgers in the wild card round would have been, Miles, way to go. No, this is water. I like that. Miles on top of it. No, it's water. Wednesday, I'm going to have something special, though. And you missed out last Wednesday. You know what I had on the live stream? I had yellow watermelon juice. And also had some other juice, too. So you missed out on that. Because I don't think you were there for last Wednesday's live stream. And, of course, for those who aren't familiar, every Wednesday, live stream, 12 noon, we will chop it up about everything that's happening in sports. By then, we'll have already game one in the books of the wild card. As a matter of fact, you know what's weird? I did not check out the schedule. All right, Bio, let me see. I'm going to sound like a spoiled baseball fan, but I like playing a different team in the playoffs. Oh, that's fine. Listen, Hunter Green and I think Andrew Abbott, didn't he pitch Friday? Oh, if he pitched Friday, then he'll be lined up for Wednesday. I think he pitched Friday. But the Reds can't hit. That's the thing. And listen, even if the Mets would have won yesterday, they would have stumbled into the postseason. Who knows if they would have gotten hot? I mean, obviously, we're never going to know, but the Dodgers couldn't have asked for a better first-round opponent. And listen, anything can happen. We know it's baseball. We saw what happened there a few years ago, especially in the division series where the Orioles got swept by Texas, and you had the Braves get beat by the Phillies again. And we know what happened Dodgers Diamondbacks. We won't talk about it any further there, Bio. But can I make you the moderator? The hell is that? What do you mean the hell is what? The water? Oh, the yellow watermelon juice? Yes, yellow watermelon. Have you ever heard of yellow watermelon? Can I make you the moderator? If I make you the moderator, what are you going to do? Val, what's happening? What's up, Val? Welcome aboard. So you never heard of yellow watermelon juice? There is such thing as yellow and orange watermelon. That's not a lie. You could Google that. And I just juiced it. I like to juice regular red watermelon, but there is a yellow watermelon. So you learn something new. Make sure I become Superman. Oh, you're Superman today. So you're not Bruce Wayne. You're not Bruce Banner. Peter Parker. Tony Stark. Today you are Superman, not Clark Kent either. So I can't call you Clark Kent. All right, Miles. On the 49ers, those Giants did good, yeah. Well, Giants at least ended on a high note. Sadly, the Mets didn't. But the podcast, let me tell you something. I'm going to say this right now. It is going to be spicy. I got a lot of things to get off my chest. And if you've watched my earlier videos here on YouTube, I not only specified that, but I also had to get at the trolling Yankee fan because I've seen nothing but memes. I've seen nothing but comments, Big Brother, all this nonsense. And this is why. This is why I can't stand this team. This is why I'll never root for this team. This is why and I live in the borough where they play in. And Taro D, yes, good morning. And I hope you have a great day too. Everyone hit the thumbs up. Yes, please. Why did 49ers lose just yesterday? Why do you think so? You know what's so funny, Val? Let me look at this. And I'm going to be serious. As I was talking about the podcast, I'm going to be very spicy. It's going to be And I'm not going to be spicy just for the sake of being spicy, clickbaiting, etc. But the 4 o'clock games, I tuned out. After that Met debacle, I couldn't care less. And I don't even know what the final score is. And again, that just goes to show you. And I did not watch. I watched a few plays of the Cowboy-Packer game. I know it ended in a tie. And yeah, but after that Met disaster, I couldn't watch sports. I couldn't. I could. I just. I wasn't going to subject myself. Because think about it. I was up early yesterday. I watched the Steelers, and Mike Tomlin just almost give that game away to the Vikings. Then I went out to brunch prior to the Met game with my wife, who celebrated her birthday on Saturday. So I went out with my sister-in-law. We had brunch right after the Steeler game and before the Met game. I mean, I missed the beginning of the Met game, but then, of course, I picked it up and watched, which, of course, I'll get to. But a lot of the stuff, Rams 49ers Thursday night. Rams about to be in first place. All about that lonesome. Yes, indeed. And let me pull up that game, Val. Hold on. Yeah, they lost to Jacksonville, which 26-21, Brock Purdy. Let me get an overview. Oh, they got a punt return. 4 turnovers. Yeah, Brock Purdy, 2 interceptions. Nah. Yeah, and how's that? Listen, they're 3-1, so I can't complain, but how's the, whatchamacallit, the Travis Hunter experiment going? And not for nothing, why did the Niners wear white at home? I hate when teams do that. Wear your colors at home. Just like when teams, and again, they want to get the advantage because, let the teams wear the darker jerseys. To me, that is an eyesore. That's like the Steelers in September, October wearing white at home. No, they wear black. It could be 1,000 degrees. They're wearing black. And I like that. I hate when teams wear the road jerseys at home. I hate it. Why? Yeah, Purdy threw a couple of interceptions. I'm having a glow up. Yeah, I know. Maybe it's the light. I just came out of the shower, too, because I ran this morning. So I was beating the clock. Yeah, 26-21 was the final. Listen, I didn't get a good feel of this game, and that's the sad part. When I break down this stuff on the podcast, because, again, I got to get on. Yeah, white uniforms aren't our colors, gold and red. But, yeah, at home, don't wear those colors. That's like the Cowboys wearing their blue at home. And I get it that they have an alternative blue that sometimes they wear on Thanksgiving. But even then, that's just weird. Robert Saleh was bad-mouthing Jacksonville coaches. Yeah, I did see that. Nah, he's just being a sore loser. And again, I didn't watch any of this game. I didn't follow it. I'll read up on it before the start of the podcast, which I'll record right after this live stream. But, yeah, I mean, come on. What are we doing here? Yes, of course, Miles had to throw out the young, black, and rich, of course. Hey, Miles, you missed out the other day. I can't remember her name. I have to go back. No, I forgot her name. Miss Tina, who knows? Some 15-year-old girl came in the room and she wanted me to play Cat's Eye. And I actually played it. Yeah, I don't know, maybe 20 seconds. So, yeah, I mean, come on. Seriously? You're talking to somebody who's 56. Cat's Eye. They can perform right here in the living room. I couldn't even tell you who they are. And speaking of performances, how does the world feel about Bad Bunny being the halftime Super Bowl act? Which that's one thing I'm going to get to on the podcast, but I'm going to say that more on a positive. I appreciate that, Val. Thank you. Does Kittle return in week 6? I know the buys start this week because the Steelers have an early bye. They elected to take the bye after their game in Dublin yesterday. So I got to take a look at that. But, yeah, Bad Bunny, a halftime act. I know everybody's going to hate. Everybody's going to just say nasty things. And, how could you have this guy? I could forget it. I mean, well, you know what? Tough to don't watch it. Just do something else. Go in the back room, eat wings, whatever. Is he a good singer? He's more of an entertainer. I don't know if he does sing. And I'll be honest with you. He is not, I don't play any of his songs on my phone or on rotation. I do like this album that he came out with earlier this year. But even then, it's not like I'm pumping that or blasting that. But he is an entertainer. I did see his concert. He had it on Amazon. It was over 3 hours. I mean, it was tremendous. And again, I'm not a big fan of his music, to be quite honest. But yeah, he make you move. If you want to move, if you want to do all that, then he's right up your alley. You're probably not going to understand what he's saying, but it's about the music, right? And it's about his rhythm, his flow, whatever, how he sings. So, but yeah, I know that's going to come. If people were lambasting Kendrick Lamar last year after that Super Bowl performance, what's going to happen with Bad Bunny? I mean, they're not going to even know what's hit him. But, hey, whatever. But yeah, this podcast, because my weekend was so busy with the wife's birthday on Saturday and even yesterday to a certain degree, and because of the Met, I couldn't even watch the afternoon games. I couldn't watch any of the four, and there wasn't that many. I know you had the Baltimore, Kansas City, where Lamar, I guess, strained a hamstring, and who knows how long, if he's going to be out. Ravens are 1-3, and I picked them as an over this year at 11.5. So maybe I put a reverse jinx on them to think. Yes, he was 15. I know. Yeah, you have to go back. It's on my YouTube channel. Check it out. You'll see it. All right, Miles. I know what you're referring there. Kittles, he was on the bench yesterday. He will return soon, I think. I would think he would. I mean, I don't know what his prognosis is for this coming week. And in fact, let me look at the schedule because I know the Steelers have a bye. I don't know, do all four? Is there 4 teams, 2 teams, 6 teams? Atlanta, Chicago, Green Bay, Pittsburgh. Those are your buys this week. Nah, not much there. Oh my God, your Monday night game next week is Kansas City at Jacksonville. I know right now it's not looking like a bad game. But when you see that initially, it's like, ugh. New England at Buffalo, your Sunday night game. Ugh. Yeah, I'm just looking at next week's games. Ugh. Thursday night's good. I know Minnesota's still out in Europe. They're playing Cleveland in the 9:30 game. Dallas at the Jets. New York and New Orleans. Yeah, break up Jackson Dart. Matt Chapman finished with 21 home runs. Hamstring injury, Kittle's always gets in a season. Kittle, I'm looking up to see Kittle. Yeah, I don't know what Denver at Philly. Houston at Baltimore. Yeah, Baltimore will kill them. They'll get a win. Miles, you can't find it. Yeah, it's on there. Let me see. If I look here. Hold on. Yeah, it's on there, Miles. Yeah, just go back. Just go to the channel and go to where the lives are. If you go into that tab, you'll find it there. And I have a thumbnail. I said, Cat's I talk about, I always said, wait, what? Cat's Eye? Yeah. I put up a thumbnail. So you'll check that out. All right, let's get focused here. So, fair warning. Of course, I followed what took place over the weekend, but I'm not going to go in depth on a lot of things because I didn't see it. It's just based on stuff I read. But of course, I'm going to go in on the Mets, which I did yesterday. If you missed my live yesterday, I know Bio was there, Val was there, Baseball Purist, a few other, James D. Why did Purdy play bad yesterday? Well, it was his first game back. And, I mean, he put up decent numbers, but I don't know when those interceptions came. If I take a look at the play-by-play, maybe I can give you a better feel. Let's just see. Because, again, I didn't watch the game. I didn't really follow it. I didn't even know who won the game, to be honest with you, because, again, I was just despondent. All right, here we go. It's a play-by-play. All right, so he threw an interception in the second quarter when they were down 7-3, which led to a touchdown. And that was 13 plays, 89 yards. Yeah, now Jacksonville's defense is really good. That I do give you. And then at 17-14, he threw a bad pick, led to a field goal, and it was actually deep in their territory. Then they turned the ball over on downs in the fourth quarter. Then they had a fumble there late when they had the ball. Yeah, obviously it wasn't a crisp game. Miles, I'm looking at your whatchamacallit. I'm excited for Steph Curry. Grandma's coming soon. Everybody run. Jacqueline! Hello. How are you? Like you said, my grandma's coming. No. Jacqueline, good to see you. Hope all is well with you and yours. I'm glad 49ers don't have Jake Moody anymore. Yeah, he was a bad kicker. That I agree. So let me try to zero in and get focused here because I know I've been all over the map, so my apologies, people. But the podcast pregame, and I'll get to the comments. I'm good. I am good. My sports life isn't good because my beloved baseball team did not surprise me, but certainly I'm disgusted by them. Even, what is it now? 20, maybe less than 20. I don't know. 18 hours later. But listen, all is good. Has Miles been good? Yeah, he's been all right. He's been okay. Sometimes he says today he's Superman and saying different things. But Jacqueline, it's always a pleasure to see you virtually. And yeah, just talking sports here. Or I can talk about whatever's on your mind, whatever you want to put forth. I'll be more than happy to follow up, answer, and expound on. But to get into the podcast, and I'll get to the comments in a moment, I promise. Of course, I got to talk about the Mets. I'm going to preview the wild card series. And let me look at the schedule real quick. Because, again, I haven't even had a chance to look at it. I've just been so out of it. Yeah, just like I expected. Oh, all right, so that game is at 3 o'clock, okay? Detroit at Cleveland at 1. San Diego at Chicago at 3. I thought that game would be at 4. And then the Yankees would be 6:37, and the Dodger game would be 9:07. But, yeah, it's 1, 3, 6, and 9. And tomorrow, I'm going to try to get there between 1 and 2 o'clock. I'm going to be outside Yankee Stadium. I'm going to be taking the temperature of the Yankee fan, and I'm going to go in there as peaceful as possible. But I got a bone to pick with them. And I'm not going to bring up anything about the Mets. If they ask me, oh, you're a Mets fan? It's yeah, and then we'll get at it. But I will say this. I wonder how the Yankee fans feeling right now. I know that chest is puffed out, and I'm going to get to the Yankee fans. That's one of my spicy comments I got for them. I already left it on my YouTube short earlier. But, yeah, I've had enough. And you know me, I don't say anything about the Yankees, good, bad, or indifferent over the course of 162 or during the playoffs. But until they are eliminated, whether regular season, wild card, God willing, division series, championship series, or as we saw last year, World Series, as long as they're eliminated, then I'll have my say at that time. Jay, do you just talk about sports or more? Here, I'm open to talk about anything. I do a live stream on Wednesdays at 12. So I'll talk predominantly sports, but I can get into a couple other things. But here it's open for anything. It's sports. Don't get me wrong. But if you happen to decide, I don't know, ask me about whatever, I'll be more than happy to answer. Whatever that may be. This is a safe space. Because I understand, well, sometimes he talks about more stuff sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I talk about whatever. I feel like for those who jump on board, and especially because this is a live that I do spontaneously, if somebody jumps in and say, hey, what are you guys talking about? I'm going to say, I'm talking sports. But if it's a thing where you have a question about, I don't know, whatever it may be, I'm open to talking about it. So, oh, you're going to go there. How do I feel about Charlie Kirk? In what way? I'm sorry to follow up a question with a question, but I'm going to ask you in what way? I mean, there's no ifs, ands, buts, babies about it. Sadly, he was tragically murdered, and nobody should go out like that. So that's what I'll say about that. I mean, that was just awful. And that's one thing I will say. I did not see it when it happened or the moments after it happened. That type of content I do not want to consume. I don't care what it is. I don't even want to see a street fight. Because a lot of people, I know they want to see the dumpster fires, the things that, for whatever the reason, they find that entertaining or they find that, they want to consume content like that. I won't do that. To me, I don't need to see images of that. I don't need to watch somebody have the life come out of them. I don't need to see people fighting in the street. I don't need to see anything like that. And that's not because I want to turn a blind eye or be ignorant to it or whatever, but that's just stuff I won't consume because what good does that do for you? Nothing. Psychologically, it's terrible to watch. I mean, who would want to see that? So in that regard, I feel that he just didn't learn more, but don't need to be mocking. Oh yeah, I mean, well, you're gonna have people that are gonna do that, unfortunately. I mean, all right, I'll say this. Now, I don't know. I knew about him. I knew of it, but I didn't watch his content. And I know that once he was murdered, a lot of the stuff that he came out and people saying that, oh, and they can say what they want to say. I'm not going to be one to follow suit to be like, oh, here he is talking about certain people, talking about guns and all these other things, whatever. And it's sad that he got murdered in that regard. But, I mean, let's face it. As bad as that was, at the end of the day, no matter which way you may lean, the guy was a podcaster. That's it. I mean, I understand he had a lot of influence and power with what he did and had a following, etc. But at the end of the day, he just had his own show, and whether you believe you believe, what you hear, or what you see with him, then that's on you. So, and that's all I'll say about that. What are you guys talking about? You're not listening, Miles. What's happening? But anyway, last time, here's what I'm going to talk about. Here's where the fireworks are going to come at. And my apologies if I've gone off the rails about 16 times throughout the course of this live. A rest in peace to the Mets, which I talked about yesterday in the live stream, but I got a couple other things that I want to say about that, which I didn't talk about yesterday. Trolling Yankee fans. I got to get at the golf fan who was awful and the USA players who were terrible at the Ryder Cup and the fans. These are golf fans. But there was something that precipitated their reaction, their responses towards Rory, towards Shane, Lowry. I mean, come on. Seriously? I got to get at them. I also got to get at the Minnesota Lynx. And I understand they had injuries, whatever, but they turned out to be frauds. And I don't want to pick on them, but again, I'm going to be in a spicy mood. So they're going to have to deal with it. I said this when they won their second straight Stanley Cup, but now their three-peat is in big-time jeopardy, the Panthers. I'm going to get on that. If I make you the moderator, how is that going to work? So you're going to moderate this live? I got to look into that. If I make you the moderator, what? Then all of a sudden, is this going to go upside down? Jacqueline, should I make him the moderator? Let's find out once and for all. I will be Superman. Jacqueline, do you think he's Superman? Do you think all these superhero personas that he has? But with all that, what's another thing? Oh, I got to get at Penn State. That's another one. How can I forget that? It's up to me. Okay. Penn State are a bunch of frauds. I don't want to hear from them anymore. I don't care who they play the rest of the year. They're frauds. James Franklin, and they were even booing him in his own building. Don't want to hear. And I didn't watch a lick. I read. Kalen DeBoer had his biggest win by far, beating Georgia in Georgia, the first time they've actually lost a home game in 6 years. So I'll touch on that. And what else? Yeah, I think that's about it. So I'm going to get into all those things. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, I can talk about the Ravens. I can laugh at them for a little bit. Yeah, those are going to be some of the things that I'm going to discuss, get into. Let him be his funny imagination world. No, Miles. So yeah, I'm going to be hot under the collar. And there's a lot of things I need to get off my chest here. And this is why I love to do what I do. Like, to do this podcast today, I could do this half asleep. The novice, he's back. Hey, listen, I'm doing good. Cole, what is going on? I know I got to follow up with you, Cole. Yesterday, yeah, I was in the middle of getting ready. And then on top of that, watching the Mets. And I just couldn't. But yeah, my sports world, forget it. It's a disaster, especially when it comes to baseball. And the novice, I know, is a big Yankee fan too, which I've been dealing with those people. That's right. And Yankee fans, I got something for you on this podcast. If you got a little taste of that in my short, about, what was it, an hour and a half ago that I posted. But yeah, I'm not taking it from the Yankee fan today. Nope. And I will be outside Yankee Stadium tomorrow. Game's at 6, so I got to make sure I get there extra early. I want to get there definitely by 2 o'clock. Figure from 2 to 4 would be good. I got to interview these fans. I'm sure their chests are all puffed out. Yankee fans, oh, we've won 8 in a row. We've won 11 on our last 13. Let's go. Did you miss anything else? No, you haven't, Miles. Let's go, so on and so forth. Please. You guys will screw up on the base pass. You guys will have a key error in a big spot. And let's not forget who your manager is, by the way. And oh, another thing. I understand. And I trolled them. Who knows what the comments are going to be like? I got to go out. Maybe I'll even go on their Instagram page, but I know on Threads through Instagram. The Yankees put out a post with a bunch of different pictures regarding Aaron Judge. 53 home runs. His OPS was this. His WAR was that. And so on and so forth. No, I know you didn't, Denovis. I know not you. But there were some that were getting at me. I know, not you, Denovis. That I know. But the Yankees put out this post about Aaron Judge, about his big-time numbers this year, led the AL in batting average, 53 home runs, his WAR was this, his this was that, blah, blah. And then the last slide was, you be the judge. But they forgot one very important statistic. Aaron Judge's lifetime batting average in the postseason is 205 with 9 zillion strikeouts and snakes in his head because the ghost of Game 5 of the World Series, him dropping that fly ball, which he could have caught 999,000 times out of a million. And the one time he dropped it, Game 5, and it went home. So I don't want to hear it. Thank you, Miles. I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you. So, yeah. But that's the thing. We could go at, and that's the one thing I will say. The Yankee fans can get on me all Juan Soto, $400 million, and I know you're not getting on me. Fishing Angel, good morning to you. The novice, I know you're not getting on me. And I mean that. But this is just general Yankee fans. That when they come out, worst Steve money can buy. Ha ha, Steve Cohen. Ha ha, Juan Soto. Where you at now? Ha Lindor. Look at that pitching staff. So on and so forth. Worry about your team. Because if Garrett Crochet throws 7 innings, 1 run, 3 hit, 12 strikeout ball, and you're down 1-0 against the Red Sox, who, by the way, you have not beaten in 2004, 2018, 2021, postseason that is. And on top of all that, you have the ghost of last year, Game 5 World Series. On top of all that, who is your manager? Oh, yeah, by the way, Aaron Boone. Nestor Cortez, anyone? Freddie Freeman, fastball down the middle. I think that ball's still going. It's probably in Hawaii by now. So, and you can get at me, oh, your Mets suck, Mets this, Mets that. Who is always the first one on the front line when it comes to my team? I destroy my team when they deserve to be destroyed. No doubt about it. So you can laugh in my face all you want, Yankee fans. Not you, Denovis, not you. But just to the Yankee fan that's watching this. You can laugh in my face. You can say all the whatever. And I got the scars all over my body. I get it. But guess what? Your words aren't going to do anything to me. They're not. But karma never forgets an address. So you could troll the Met fan from now until first pitch tomorrow, 6 o'clock. And you can have your stupid roll call, which is overrated, by the way. And on top of that, Garrett Crochet mows you guys down like a freshly cut grass on a spring day where, again, and I hope it's a complete game, which is never going to happen. I get that. But give me 7 innings, 12 strikeouts, and Aaron Judge with a golden sombrero, and then you have to rely on your season. Game 2, Carlos Rodon. He's had a good year. I'll give it up. But that guy, how did he do last year when you were down 1-0 in the World Series when you got smacked around? Gave up 3 homers in 4 innings. And yes, it's a new year and so on and so forth, but I don't want to hear it. That guy, I wouldn't trust to save my baseball life. I'd be shaking in my boots. So I can only hope Crochet throws a gem. Red Sox win a tidy 5-1 game. Aroldis Chapman, you don't think he wants to stick it to his whole team? I tell you. So I just want to know what you guys think, but how you feel about Takis. You're talking about the snack Takis? Oh, yeah, I would never eat that. Jacqueline, Taki, yes, sports heartbreak goes with their glory. Ain't that the truth? They're going to think they're good. I won't, Miles. You know me. Yeah, I don't. Takis, no way. Yeah, the snack. No, I don't eat Takis. Takis is, ugh. I changed my thumbnail to something more like, it's a hat. All right, cool. Yeah, I can't see that thumbnail. I'm going to have to go, let me see, hold on. If I go on my laptop, I'll probably see it better. Stand by. Nope, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I got to check that out. Here we go, Cole. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I don't see it. No, I'm getting a bunch of Days of Thunder stuff. I'll find it afterwards. Takis are amazing. I never had one. Yeah, the ingredients in there. Spicy, no thanks, Miles. Yeah. Listen, I love spicy stuff, but the Takis, no. None for me. I pass. Sorry, Jacqueline. You got something else? But you know what the response to that stat is? Which one, the novice? The Aaron Judge stat? 205? Oh, don't tell me the 27 rings. It's going to be the 27 rings. But you know what? The novice, nobody cares about that right now. You guys haven't won a World Series in it's going on 16 years. That's like me saying Steelers got 6 Super Bowls. Nobody cares. They haven't won a Super Bowl in the same amount of time. Yeah, Miles, they think it's good. Yeah. None for me. Response to that stat. Yeah, it could be 27 rings. That's fine. But to me, now listen, I know you're an Eagle fan. You have every right to say you guys are the defending champs. Can't say anything about that. Even though it's a new season, but obviously you're the last team that won. When the Yankee fans come with the 27 rings, you gotta laugh. It's a hat I've had for a very long time. It says I'm here to F shit. Yeah, I hear that. Bringing out retirement. Yes. I love it. It's funny because I do see words there, but again, I don't have my glasses, so I can't really tell. So can we still talk about the moderator? Yeah, that is terrible. That's Grand Blanc. How far is that from you guys? And it's funny, I did think about when I saw that happen. Well, I didn't see it happen, but when I saw the headline, yeah, how far is that from you guys? Wow, 25 minutes? Jeez. Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on with this place. I mean, Yankee fans are like 49er fans. They live in the past. Hit close to home. I'm sure it did, man. Yeah, that's an awful 25 minutes. Jeez. I mean, what's going on? I mean, seriously, as a matter of fact, now that I think about that, hold on. Michigan. Yeah, no, 4 people perished. The church, I'm sure the church that it burned down to the ground. I even hate to bring this up, but. And is the shooter still alive? Oh, here we go. Let's look at this. 4 dead, 8 injured in Sunday attack. The suspect is identified Thomas Jacob Stanford, 40 years old. All right, 4 people were killed, 8 injured yesterday when a man drove a vehicle through the front doors. I mean, come on. He exited the vehicle and began firing an assault rifle. Oh, my goodness. I mean, as many as 3 improvised devices were found. I mean, what are we doing, people? Are you that unhappy? Listen, I shouldn't even go there. Let me reel it in. I know Fishing Angel and Cole would like that. Let me reel it in. There's a lot to unpack when any of these stories come about. And I'll get to some of these comments in a second. The only way that I could try to even say this or temper this in the best way possible is that obviously the person is ill. And we know that over the last 5, for sure 5, probably 10, maybe 15 years, with the way mental health has gone, and unfortunately with healthcare, and that's a whole other story to get into, which I'm not going to do that right now. But it's a shame that not only just the current administration, but the previous administrations, that there isn't a solution to what's going on for the people who live here in the U.S. to try to get ourselves better. And not just better from a physical standpoint, because we could talk about the whole, eating right and exercise and all that, but up here. And more so in here. So when you read about a guy who's going to drive through a church, and then he's going to start to break out an assault rifle, and then, I mean, you can't even make that up. All right, Danavis, I'll get you. You can't even make that up. So it's a situation where you got to go back to the root of this. How did this person get to this point, and how it was probably unlikely that this person was able to seek help. Now, I don't know that, and this is why I got to toe the fine line here. But, and I'm not trying to be a therapist, psychoanalyst, etc., but it just boggles my mind that these things, they just never end. And that there's not even a Band-Aid that they try to put over to even start to fix this, let alone fix it. And I know a ton of people have had it. Thoughts. I didn't want to go with the whole thoughts and prayers, but I will say this, because you, Cole, and Fishing Angel live 25 minutes from this terrible tragedy, that my heart goes out to you guys, to your community, to I hope you didn't lose anyone that was close to you, or anybody that was maybe an acquaintance or anything like that. I mean, you can't even wrap your head around something like that. And just like you said, Cole, especially it hits close to home. It's beyond awful. And sadly, this is just going to continue to go on and on and on, and nothing's going to happen. Yeah, I'm going to catch up on these comments here. Let's see. I'm Spider-Man. You're funny. I'm Spider-Man again. Cole, church is a total loss. Gunman got shot in a parking lot by a Michigan DNR officer and a grand. So he has been taken into custody. Yeah, it's starting to grow a little bit, Miles. No, you can only bat 205 in the postseason if you're in the postseason. That is true. But for a guy who's won 2 MVPs and has put up monster numbers in the regular season. And I understand it's not going to translate every year, but at some point it's got to change. And yeah, to me, those regular season, those MVPs mean nada, nothing. I'd rather have it the other way around. I'd rather him bat 280 and then in the postseason bat 350. And I get it, you got to be in the dance in order to whatever, but he's a wallflower at that dance with the way he performs in the playoffs. What am I talking about? All right, here we go. This is what it's come to. You have to risk your life to go to church. I mean, it's beyond between churches, schools. I mean, what is happening here? It's like we have to be afraid of going to church. Yeah, exactly. And this has been going on for years now. South Carolina, the one kid who went in there. I mean, and it's never going to end. And that's why I say administrations, because I'm not pointing fingers at the current one. This has been going on forever, but we all know. It's like, oh, all right, and the more thoughts and prayers, and oh, it's another tragedy. You know, it's not like, you know what, we've had enough of this. It's time to get cracking. It's time to, let's go. Nope, nothing. Come on, like, what is happening there? What is happening? You got to see the last live streams with his hair grown. Our government needs to get their crap together and realize that, yeah, fishing angel, oh, gunman is dead. All right, cool. Thanks for clarifying. Vlad, how are you, my friend? There were 7 other churches that had searches for bomb. Wow, look at that. I mean, but fishing angel hit around the head. I mean, the government, they're not going to do anything. And it's awful because there are other countries that when things go off like that, what happens? Like the next day, game, set, match, over and out. It's done. And here it just keeps going on and on and on. Like you said, you can't go to a school, you can't go to a church, you can't go anywhere. Movie theaters, as you've seen in the past, you go to a movie theater, all of a sudden it's like, what was it? I think when The Dark Knight came out, it was in Colorado, somebody, what is happening? The guy in the airport in Fort Lauderdale who was a former Marine, I think he was a former Marine, and all of a sudden, starts shooting up the place. I mean, I agree, Jay, enough is enough. It's time to have actions and other actions, period. Yeah. It might be time to use our military to protect people here. Yeah, maybe time for that. I mean, either that or let's start putting some stricter policies. Or how about, this is all you need to know. Can I just say this? Can I just say this? Why is it that, let's say if I'm in Paris, France, and I can walk across the street, and God forbid, I turn my ankle in a pothole and it swells up the size of a basketball, and I walk into a hospital, doctor's office, etc., and I go in there and I say I need to see a doctor. Oh, yeah, your ankle's bad. And when it's time for me to check out, let's say whatever, I don't know, God forbid I get a cast, or yeah, they put an ace bandage and maybe they give me a prescription for some medicine or antibiotics, whatever it may be. And on the way out, when I'm getting ready to sign on the dotted line, what are they? And Vlad could be the one who probably can answer this too, because he's in Serbia. Now, I don't know what the healthcare is in Serbia. Maybe you could expound on this, but I'm willing to even get into this. But why is it that I can walk out of a Paris hospital and be like, how much was this? It's like, oh, $20 or $30, $50 just to get looked at, and no insurance, I might add. But because it happened on their turf and a pothole, that they'll look at it and it's like $50. And, oh, did you take a cab fare over to the hospital? And let's say if I didn't have a receipt, I'll get reimbursed for that. Meanwhile, if I'm here in the States and I have no insurance and I go into a hospital that I have a heart attack and I take all these tests, etc., here's your bill, sir. And it's in the tens, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're supposed to be the richest country in the world. How does that work? I mean, you can't make it up. Thank you, Vlad. He said it. Thank you. He lives in Serbia. Shout out to Vlad and also his mom, Mirjana. I hope Mirjana's doing well. And your whole family, Vlad. Because, you know, I'm thinking of you guys always. But I see Cole. I see your comment. I'll go back and scroll. Think about that. Vladislav wrote free. All free. In Serbia, all is free in hospitals. Need I say more? So you mean to tell me that anybody who is ill, physically, mentally, whatever, that they can walk into a hospital? Thank you. In all caps. I love it. That you can walk into a hospital, and who knows what's going to happen. I make it shadow banned for this live, but I don't care. Because these are the facts. That you can walk into a hospital and say, I'm not feeling well. My mental health is not well. I may actually do some harm to myself or maybe to others. Guess what? If you're overseas, I'm sure they're going to run you. Be like, all right, what is it that we could do to get you back on the straight and narrow? Here, oh, do you have insurance? Oh, insurance doesn't cover this. Oh, insurance doesn't cover that. Oh, you don't have insurance? All right, well, it's going to cost you this amount of money. It's a flat out, absolute, obscene joke that this is going, and I can't believe we're actually even talking about this, but you know, I guess it has to be said. That why here, and again, this goes back to even what Fishing Angel said. Yeah, government has to do something about this. Yeah. Healthcare has to be free for everybody. Instead, all of our hard-working tax-paying dollars is going to bail out big corporations and big pharma and all that. And that's fact. I know. I'm going off the hinges here. Let me scroll up here. Yeah, we're afraid of going to church. Fishing Angel. Cole, I agree, Jay. Enough is enough. It's time to have actions. Yeah, I got that. It might be time to use military. Cole. On a better note, Lions made the Browns look stupid yesterday. Yeah, that was good. I know the Browns got off to a 7-0 start, but yeah, they're the Browns. Vlad, what? Churches? I don't know. God, what's happening in USA? My God. Yeah, we were talking about it earlier, Vladislav, how a church 25 minutes from where Cole and Fishing Angel, the husband and wife that are in the room right now, a guy, 40-year-old, drove his, I guess, I don't know what kind of vehicle he had, but he drove into the church and then came out and started shooting where 4 people were dead and 8 people were hurt, hospitalized. And, I mean, you can't make it up. Miles, Battlefield 6 came out. Yeah, I mean, sadly, there's parts of the U.S. that's like Battlefield. I mean, it's crazy. Vladislav, be proud of your country because mine is falling apart. Yeah, exactly. All free. Cole hit around the head. Wow, that's how America should be. Free to everyone, but not our country. It's worried about money, which is sad. Fishing Angel, listen, and that it must be free for everyone. You can't make it up. And I got news for you, Cole and Fishing Angel. Just like Vladislav said. And also think about this. When the workday is done overseas, that's it. They can't send you an email because they could get fined. So imagine that. Imagine you leave your job. And I know you guys are independent, so you guys are good. But imagine if you worked at a company and they ask you to stay late or you leave at 5 o'clock, but then they're sending you emails at home that, hey, can you come into the office early tomorrow? No, that they would get flagged and get fined for that if you live overseas. And that if you need, let's say, a mental health break, and this is true, I'm not making this up, and Vlad could probably vouch, that if you need a mental health break, that work is stressing you out, and you need time off and paid time off, that overseas, your doctor will give you not a prescription, but he'll say that, yeah, they need to take 3 weeks off. They need a vacation. And here's where they could go to get that. And guess what? That people could go to wherever resort or wherever destination that they could go to unwind, to relax, to get away from whatever stress that they have. That, yes. And guess what? It's paid for. Think about that. I mean, I wish I could say I'm making this up, but I'm not. It's been documented in several places. Yeah, I agree, Jay. That's Val. Fishing angel. I know it must be. Yeah, I mean, it's. Again, what is wrong with you? Not you, but my God. Yeah, no, what is wrong with you? Yeah, here. Miles, Jay, did you know that the first person I chatted. Am I? No way. Is that right, Miles? I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, Jack, are you joking? No, I'm not. Ever. Jay did a beautiful thing to my grandson. I did? What did I do? I don't know. I didn't do anything. I was just a guy live streaming, talking sports, and here I am talking about healthcare and what's wrong with our country. But this, in order for this to change, in order for this to stop, you would think that, and listen, I don't want to go like with slogans and things of that nature, but it's, Vlad, I see your comment. I did something, I don't know, Jacqueline, but it's just mind-boggling to think that other countries get it. And other countries look out for their citizens. And here where we live, no, they don't do that. Not at all. You almost got to fend for yourself. Nike, what is happening? Rehab the winter sports. Great seeing you too, Nike. I know I got to follow up with you. I know you left a nice comment there with the Met vlog the other day. I know I got to catch up on all your comments too. I didn't forget about that, people. Over the weekend, it was a busy weekend, so my apologies there. But it's just, and to me, that's the start of it. If there was just a universal health care, so all the money that's going to these big corporations to bail out, to all this nonsense and money that's being, funding other people's wars and things of that nature. And understand you want to have allies. I get that. But it comes to a point where it's like, no, we have to take care of people here. There are people that are homeless. There are people that are starving. There are people that have no health care. There are people that are, mentally ill because they're literally driving into churches and shooting up schools and Las Vegas Strip at concerts and just annihilating people left and right. I mean, what is happening? When does it end? But no, it's just, it's another terrible tragedy. Oh, it's just another, oh, well. That's what it is. It's oh, well. Doesn't matter. I mean, look at Oklahoma City bombing. It blew up a federal building. What's next? They're going to literally just eviscerate an entire grade school? Parkland shooting. My brother went to that high school in South Florida. Valentine's Day, what was it, 2018? No, I mean, it never, ever, ever will end. It won't. Yeah, I mean, I hear you, Vladislav. I do. It's just, yeah. And then the crazy thing is that when people want to decide to, let's say, I've visited a certain place overseas, I'm thinking about moving there, so on and so forth, and then you have the arrogance of the American people. Well, we don't want you here anyway. Get out of here, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? If people are trying to get a better life, and it's not to say you can't have a better life here, but yeah, I don't want to go to a place of worship that I'm going to be grateful, thankful for the life that I have, for the blessings that have been bestowed upon the higher power, etc. And the next thing you know, you hear a car accelerating toward a church. You're thinking to yourself, wait, that sounds awfully. And he just barrels right through. And the next thing you know, he's coming out. And it's like you're watching a movie, but literally you're in horror because this is actually happening in front of my eyes where people are getting mowed down and just, seriously? You don't hear that overseas. You don't hear that in South America. You don't hear that north of the border in Canada. You don't hear that in Mexico. You don't hear that in Australia. You don't hear that in Africa. I can't believe I'm actually even talking about this. But it's good. And this is what's good about these podcast free games. Even though I'm talking sports, and I know I'm going to get to that. I guess I'm going to close out soon because I got to start recording here. But you know what? It's just, I'm passionate about a lot of things in life. I'm passionate about, of course, sports, as you know, but I'm passionate about people winning in life. I want people to win. I want people to enjoy their lives. And even if it's right, thank you, Cole. I was going to call you Jay too. Yes, I hear you. And that's why when I have these podcast pre-games and when I have my live streams, it's to interact with you guys. Because when I record the podcast and I put it up, obviously I'm not doing that. And yes, I can correspond through the comments on the shorts or the podcast or whatever content that I leave. And that's fine and dandy, which is great because I've been able to foster relationships with you guys and gals, which I truly and humbly appreciate. And you guys know that. But I'm also passionate about us thriving and us being better. And yeah, we're never going to be perfect. I'll never even claim to be perfect. But I want to try to bring a little slice of goodwill, positivity. And I know that this hasn't been a positive live stream by any means, but it's been a real one. And I got to thank Vladislav. Thank you, because he was here to punctuate what's not happening here, which is happening elsewhere. And you would never think in a million years that, because we think the U.S., we have it made, a free country, we can go and do what we please, so on and so forth. And yes, that is still the case. But there are a lot of things that are just, and not everything's going to be perfect. I get that. But there are a lot of things that are screwed up that are not benefiting us. And part of me doing these things is that, hey, to make sure October 1st is Wednesday. We're now going to be 3 months away from 2026. And with the pursuit of what it is that I'm trying to do independently, and I'm trying to do my best. And I know that I still fall short, but that's besides the point. But my point is that I'm trying to even stress that to you, that I'm working on my side, and that I hope you're working on your side. And not even just toward your goals, but even toward just being a better human, caring about the people next to you. And I'm not trying to say you got to have the red carpet and just welcome everybody into your home or everybody into your life. I get that. But at the same time, that's what it's all about, is being able to foster relationships and friendships and to have that goodwill. Oh, thank you, Miles. I appreciate that. And people attacking Christianity, listen, I understand. What do they say? You don't want to talk about politics, religion, etc. Now, the thing is that that's been weaponized, yes. But for those who practice it, or for those who preach it, they need to practice it. And there are some that they do or don't. Now, I'm not going to unpack that to get that right, and they shouldn't be attacking it, especially the ones who preach it. But there are people who preach, but they don't practice it. And obviously, that's not a good thing. But that's where the whole judgment thing comes in, because it's right. Everybody wants to just spew and point fingers, whatever. And that's what good does that do? That doesn't do any good. You know if somebody is going to be rooted in a good soul, that they don't have to put out certain content or have to say, hey guys, look at me doing this today, which I understand that looks more like a photo op or a video op than then just out of the nature of their good heart are, they not only wear it on their sleeve, but they practice it. And right, just like I've said to you guys from the beginning, I will continue to remain authentic. I will continue to be transparent, etc. To me, that's important, because I'm not trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes. And that's why I always profusely thank you guys all the time for stopping by. You could be doing something else. You'd be like, who's this JAYREELZ guy? I don't know. I'm not going to waste my time listening to this guy talk sports, or now he's talking about healthcare, and now all of a sudden he's on a soapbox. No. But, right, when you're talking about problems in this country, you're talking about what's going on, it's like, yeah, I'm passionate about that. So, many problems, but economic problems or something like that is okay. But if you must open your eyes just to walk or go to a job, that's not good. Right. Because it's life, and that's the thing. the hustle culture of America is glorified, where the alignment culture is not even discussed. Because I'd rather be aligned over the hustle. Because, yeah, you can hustle and do your thing, which is great, and put forth whatever it is, which is fine. But you do have to know when to reel it in. You do have to know when to kind of take a blow, whatever, because that go all the time. And I understand they're workaholics, whatever, which is great. But at the same time, you also have to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Because there's people, and I used to work in a law firm. There were people that, and we know lawyers, they work, and listen, Vlad, I believe, not to shout you out, but I believe you yourself are an attorney. I'm sure you find ways to be like, I got to get away from my job. But there's some that, I got to keep going. But it's like, when's the vacation? When's the time we can kick back and relax? When's the time that you could refill your cup so that you could be well and do good, not for yourself, but for others around you, etc. Nope. Everything has to be hamster in the wheel, 100 miles an hour. I got to keep going. I got a lifestyle to support. I got to make sure I get the newest Maserati, or I got to get a bigger house, or I got to now buy a yacht, or I got to impress people with money that I don't have to people that I don't even know. I mean, it's just nonsense. I don't know. I'm going off the rails here, people. Maybe I need to... Cole's running for president, you get my vote. We're going to stand our ground. We're not going to let evil take us down because we're different believing God. There you go, Fishing Angel. I'm with you on that. Check Google Serbia. You know what? Now, after this, I got to record my podcast, which I'm going to sign off in a couple of minutes because I got to get jumping on that. But I am going to do that. Vlad, I will. As a matter of fact, I'm going to even type a note here. I would type it on my phone, but I'm going to type it here separately because I'm using my phone to Google Serbia. Yeah, I got one backer. That's all I need. I'm doing. I know. Unfortunately, you're going to need a lot more than me, but, hey, you get my vote. But, yeah, man. My apologies for just going off the rails here. Free halt, Google it now. You know what? I will do that. This will be my last thing. Free halt. Should it be free halt Serbia? Because I'm getting free halt, top sewing pattern, dress pattern, top crochet pattern. Oh, free health. Oh, free health insurance? You mean free health? Speak what you feel. No, I appreciate that, Cole. All right, so wait. Vlad, you mean, so free health. Free health Serbia? Free health insurance Serbia, right? All right, here we go. Yeah, here it is. For Serbian citizens and residents, most citizens and permanent residents are required to make mandatory monthly contributions, all right, to your health fund, all right, which I understand, which covers public health care costs. But it says employees' contributions are partly paid by the employee and partly by the employer, okay. Individuals must pay their own compensation, right? Unemployed individuals, those registered with the National Employment Services receive free health care. Pensioners also have free coverage. Think about that. So if you have a pension in Serbia, you get free coverage. Where people Medicare and Medicaid after 65, forget it. For temporary visitors, emergency care, all foreign citizens, including tourists, are entitled to urgent medical assistance, though some confusion exists whether doctor services are always covered. Okay? No out-of-pocket payments. Citizens from countries including Austria, Belgium, Croatia, Czech Republic, France, Germany, Hungary, North Macedonia, Poland, Slovakia, and the UK Typically receive care with no upfront payments. Pay first, reimburse later. All right, so they look like there could be some. Oh, hold on. There look like there could be some instances where you may have to pay, but again, or you get reimbursed. I mean, how about that? So think about that. Now it says citizens from Switzerland, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland, and the Netherlands must pay services first and apply for reimbursement in their home country. So look at that. So even if your thing costs $10,000, and you may not have $10,000, but you slap it on a credit card, you get reimbursed for it. Yes, everything is free. We all have a doctor. I will say I don't care. Trump needs to have a news conference saying the political violence needs to end, period, both sides of the right. Yeah, I wish he would say that, but all right, Nike. Yeah, thanks for listening to what I've been saying here. Nike, I appreciate you. You know that. I'm sure Nike's going to be like, yeah, that was one I was not expecting or running into. But yeah, we all have a doctor. There you go. My good people, I got to sign off. I listen, I can stay on for hours, but I got to start recording. I want to get this up by 12:30, which I probably could still do so. But yeah, he needs to, but won't. Oh, absolutely not. He will not. And again, that's not a knock on him. It could have been Biden, it could have been Obama, it could have been Ronald Reagan. And they could say it, and they could say, oh, we're thinking about it. It will never happen. It won't. Because this should have happened years ago. So yeah, it's not a knock on him. It's just anyway. I appreciate you all. Thanks for listening. Yes, Fishing Angel, thank you to you and yours, of course. I know this went off the rails big time. Started talking sports. Podcast coming out today. Live stream Wednesday, 12 noon Eastern time. Don't forget. And yeah, this podcast is going to be spicy. So get ready for that. Much appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. And tomorrow as well. Hopefully I'll see you guys on Wednesday's live stream. If not, hope to see you on Thursday's podcast pregame, which I'm sure may be a lot tamer than this one, but we shall see. But until next time, everybody, much love. Yes, much love to you, Vlad, and to your mom as well. Yes, please, we got to keep in touch. I'll send you my email through, I think you have my email. If not, I'll send it to you through YouTube, and we can correspond that way. But until next time, everybody, on the flip, enjoy your Monday.